It's preparing live stream. Got it. Boom. We're in the
Go.
house.
People expect this fanning around at the start.
Yeah, no. So, hello and welcome. This is Monday Club. Well, it's actually Sunday Club. Yeah. Well, it's Monday Club on a Sunday. We're testing out a few bits today. We're testing out the older, the podcast on live.
Basically, what happened was, I'll tell you what happened. What happened was, I've been on holiday a week at Centre Park, so we didn't get a podcast recorded. Then last night I went out on the piss and I'm hanging out, and we just thought we'd do it. We'd do it live because it saves loads of editing and it's a new thing to try out. So welcome to this test.
Welcome to this test.
And if anyone comes in, it'll be a miracle. And if you do come in, we can try and interact with you because we're all about.
Someone's already here.
Someone's here. GSH is here. Same evening already. So yeah, we are looking at fresh new ways. The podcast is staying the same. We're going to do the pod every Monday, but we're looking at things that are more interactive and fun for the viewer. And we blatantly nicked this off eFix, who do the lives.
Thank you, Gary. Gary Hayes, a legend in the house. No, basically, we didn't even bother this week. We haven't even bothered putting it out that we're doing a live or anything because we're going to test a few things. We're just going to sort of roll with it, I think.
I think the pod's great. We get loads of good comments back on it. There's no problem with it. Getting guests is always a nightmare, and managing it and getting the timings right and stuff like that is always a nightmare. But we just want to do something where everyone can enjoy and take part in. And doing a live once a month like this, we think might be a way of doing it. So we
can't do it live every week because
my stress levels.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. It's like getting the guests to do a live. Getting the guests to do a podcast is hard enough as it is. Getting a guest to do a live and a podcast, that's tough. And
guest-wise, again, if anyone wants to come on, let us know.
No, not anyone. No,
no. You can talk. You can ask
anyone.
Us. You can ask us. You can ask, but not anyone, because the problem is, as we found out, and I found out since we've been doing this with Sam, is some people just freeze like a rabbit in the headlights. So if you think you might be able to do it, let us know, and we'll see what happens. But we're always looking for fresh, new talent or people that do interesting jobs that are electrical.
And also, this is brought to you by Verso. Verso do fuse boards and wiring accessories, some of the best in the business. Their fuse boards are high quality and reasonably priced. Actually, they're really nice stuff. Go and check them out. Hit them up on their website and see what you think.
Tell them we sent you.
Hey,
tell them we sent you.
What did you send me?
Tell them that we sent you. Then we'll obviously get. If we say we've sent them, we'll get fat coin in return, won't we? Is that how it works?
No.
Do we get like £8 for every fuse board we hack out on here?
No, we don't get anything like that. That's mental. I'm trying to find out if I can edit the name of this, called Sam's Personal Meeting Room. That's not going to get any views, is it? But anyway,
we don't want it to get any views this week. We'll just see if it works. But yeah, we are here. So what we're on about is comments, people, interaction. That's what it's all about. We are getting excited about the amount of comments we receive on videos and feedback.
Yeah, no, it's really awesome actually. Getting the amount of comments we do,
and they're not crap comments either. They're paragraphs of well-tailored stuff that helps us make this podcast better.
Sometimes it's above my head, and I think I hope Jamie responds to that because I can't. And that's just the truth, mate. I am so tired. I just had to have a coffee with 2 scoops of coffee in it.
My life this week, and I bet everyone's getting like this, right? I bet
you've been on holiday this week. No one cares how tired you are.
But that doesn't stop. I bet everyone's feeling that. Have you noticed it's getting dark? It's getting cold. People are getting lethargic. Look, behind me, look, it's carnage. I'm dealing with carnage. My life at the minute is a mess, and I think a lot of tradespeople are like this time of year. People want to get stuff done before Christmas.
See, I'm working.
Rolls downhill.
I've been doing 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, and I've just done another 7 days. I'm like, it's all merging into one. The only thing I look forward to, instead of looking forward to having the weekend off, I'm looking forward to the early finish on a Saturday and the early finish on a Sunday. That's my weekend.
How long have you been doing that for now?
About 4 weeks.
You look like you're hanging out. Also, you just said I've been on holiday, mate. I've got 2 kids. You don't have an holiday. I'm just a chaperone. I had to go down the rapids at Centre Parks 32 times one night. I felt like I've been beat up.
See, I'll just be like, go by yourself now.
What? Just go to a Centre Parks on my own?
No, that'd be weird.
Oh no! What my child's only thought I can't chuck a 4-year-old girl down the rapids.
Why not? I'll be like, go by yourself.
The lifeguard won't let me for a start.
Oh, fair enough. But yeah. You take her, mate.
Mate, it doesn't hurt a lot, but you get bounced around that much. So yeah, my holiday you said I've been on, it's not like that. And I've come back to even more work because it's all stacked up. The post box was rammed. I'm sure everyone who's self-employed or working for at the minute is feeling the pinch. It's that typical November thing, innit?
Mate, I don't even know what we're talking about. What is the topic today, please?
Is this shit going to work or what? Shall we look at what people are saying?
Well, I'm looking at it right now. Your discount code on tea lights didn't work, Jamie. Please, can you advise?
If I tell you what we're on the running order here, it says what we are working on and planning, which I think we've got into.
Well, we haven't really. We talked about this live. What we have got in the pipeline is I am doing the Christmas special. And I put a shout out. It's pretty epic.
No, there's two. There's one you've seen. There's a Christmas advert going to be coming out next month. Monday Club Christmas advert, which I'm pretty proud of. It is a massive in-joke for viewers of this program. I hope everyone enjoys it as much as I'm enjoying making it. And the other one I'm doing the Christmas show, which is so we can have 2 weeks off at Christmas. And there's a shout out to anyone, and it is anyone, if you can do a 1 to 2 minute comedy sketch recording and send it in, we will probably incorporate into that show. We are asking for content from you people for this show.
Can I just stress, right? This is all Jamie. None of it's to do with me. I'm just sitting here being tired all the time. What I will say is, so we're talking about doing a live once a month. I don't know what people think about that, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I wouldn't mind doing it like more often. But it's good to have a guest when we do a live.
Well, we ain't got a guest this week because I fucked up any bookings by being on, didn't I?
No, do you know what I said? No, what I said was, I'll take care of it. You go on holiday, and I've done nothing. I've done nothing.
So we can have a holiday at Christmas. I'm pre-recording the Christmas show for everyone. It's going to be a special, gigantic episode full of hilarity from the past 12 months, if I can be asked. But what I realised is, I like making videos. But I don't like making electrical videos for YouTube. But I thought something like a Christmas show, Christmas pod, to entertain everyone while we're off for 2 weeks, or if you graft them 2 weeks, might be quite interesting. So we're trying crazy new things like lives and stuff like that. You'll read the comments, aren't you?
Yeah, I was just I watch all of your podcasts as electrician 16th till I became a carer at 2010 for my wife. Miss the days of banter. Oh, what, do you miss the days of me mocking Bundy and stuff like that?
Or does he mean he misses the banter on site? Because there isn't any nowadays, because everyone just gets offended.
No, do you know what? The site I'm on at the moment, it is like being 20 years ago. Honestly, some of the banter is really near the mark. Sometimes I have to walk away.
Quality banter.
I have to walk away. I'm like, wait, I didn't hear that. I'm walking this way.
Is that the kind of banter that happens till there's just 2 people left?
No, the thing is, everyone gets on so well there. It's like a right nice little crowd, and it's from all walks of life, and it's really good. Different types of advertising. It
is good to be able to be on site with people where you can pretty much get away with murder and do the jokes. The only problem is I tend to go and get jobs where they don't like that kind of attitude. I get sacked.
Mate, to be honest with you, I've had it right off in this job because I'm actually like supervising it and stuff like that. So
can you imagine, viewers, being on a job supervised by Sam?
Best job you'll ever be on. Best job you'll ever be on. It's not even close. Do you know what? I'm so tired. I'm barely struggling to put a sentence together here. We need a topic. Come on.
We're just rolling, aren't we? It's just like this is a free podcast. This should have really happened because of my holiday, because of my non-holiday. What's everyone saying? Show me different types of advertising and the success of the small companies would be interesting. I don't know anything about advertising. That's Sam's domain. And nowadays,
what I'm going to do now? Are you ready for this?
I don't know if I am.
Right.
For audio viewers, you might not see this.
I am going to do something that no one's ever done before.
I'll get your knob out of you.
Nope. I'm going to put the link to the podcast in the show notes right now.
So anyone can do this. Mate, Are you sure?
Oh, why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's going nowhere anyway. And literally now we could get banned.
Soon.
If anyone's on, the link is there.
Soon.
Banter. Show me different types of advertising. They're successful small. Advertising is Sam's domain. I as you know, anyone that follows me on Instagram, I'm threaders with advertising at the minute. It's like
Yeah, but see, Jamie's got this thing with advertising, and there's this big hoo-ha around advertising. Now, I am the progenitor of a lot of the people that come. A lot of the companies that advertise in the electrical industry now are directly my fault. It's my fault. I was the one who rung them up, got them into the world of influencer marketing. So Jamie's basically rallying against me and my my.
What I hate is, I love eFix's program. Yeah, eFix on advertising firms, love it. It's bog standard traditional advertising. Got no problem with that. I hate the snide advertising. I hate it, and I never will. And what I will say on that comment is, you know, now that I've been working company to company for so long, if I started a business now in the day and age it is now, the internet, all that, I wouldn't have a clue how to promote a domestic business.
Well, I do, and it's very easy. You do lots of YouTube videos, and then it puts the algorithm, like the YouTube search algorithm, to the top if you link it to your website, and that allows.
Right.
So if you put like I don't know, Surrey Spark does a light change.
Oh, got you.
That's how you hack. That's how you hack Google. And you don't even have to have like a YouTube channel where you've got loads of videos, like a Nick Bundy channel. You can have a load of hidden videos.
Oh,
and just the fact that they're on there and you've got the correct thing, like the correct Surrey Spark fits this at this time. Bosch, that goes to the top of.
If anyone's out there, comment on this on now or later on. If you are a domestic Sparky, I know I give you a hard time. Yeah, let us know what your advertising methods are and what works like. And I hear people swearing by them parish magazines and stuff. But nowadays, that's not digital. There's so much digital stuff to go out now. Can you actually get work out of Instagram and Facebook and YouTube?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Facebook you can. If you join so wherever you live, say Croydon residents, and you join that group and you're like, electrician in the area.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
If you upset one Karen, you are fucked, aren't you? Because she will go on there and shout about you. He's been around my ass and stained me windows or something.
So I started doing local stuff around here when I left my last job. I was going to just go domestic, and I put up an ad on one of them Facebook groups, and within about, I don't know, 2 hours, I had about 3 messages come through, and before I knew it, I was pretty booked up. Like,
I was advertising my local one. Then they threw me off it because someone was asking about a car charger. So I said, this is a true story. Someone asked about, I weren't doing any work on there because I'm pretty busy at work at the minute. So I just put, I'm after a car charger, which one should I get? And I put, get a Zappy. They cost a bit more money, but they work. That's my personal opinion about advertising Zappy. Yeah, I just think they work, they look smart, and the interface is decent. The app's good. The app is the secret sauce, yeah? And this guy's like, oh, thanks very much. Do you fit them? So then I started messing around saying, yeah, I'll do it for cash, mate, if you buy it. And it escalated to people going, have you got an insurance? I was like, no, mate, I don't need insurance. I'm just doing it for cash. And this, obviously, loads of people jumped in to slag off me off because they thought I was some kind of like dodgy tradesman.
Yeah.
And I got about 20 comments deep in, like going, look, mate, it's guaranteed till I get in the van. I'll do it for 200 notes cash. And then I got banned because.
Are you just on a massive wind up?
Oh, just on this massive wind up. So I didn't want the job. And yeah, they banned me for it because I was making out I was happy to do it tax free, no insurance for cash. Which, of course, as anyone listening to this podcast will know, is not a joke. Yeah, I'll go around here and fit it for cash. I don't give a shit.
Not for 200 quid, though.
Then I've 200 quid. I want 500. Obviously, while I'm around there, I'm going to probably go through the drawer, see if it's worth robbing, because that's what I do in a domestic situation.
Do you know how dumb we are? Do you know what it is today?
Sunday?
Football. No, it's meant to be the World Cup today.
Is it?
Yeah.
In Christmas.
That's
What's
how bad.
The comments? We're going to the comments. But we're good to hear from JB about running his company. I don't run a company anymore. If I could do a podcast on what I did once, but I don't run a company anymore.
Why don't you just give us a brief rundown of it and bore me silly with your nonsense?
I don't suppose I've done this ever. Not everyone could. No one actually knows what kind of spark I am. So I did a short course, a 5-day to hero to zero in 2010.
I've got to be a dick.
If anyone is interested, I live in Nottingham and I started when I was 17 working for a company called Cannon Electrical, who are still going now, I think. Heavy industrial, universities, hospitals. Then I had a scrap with one of the apprentices at Christmas, so I left there and I went to Goodmate and Erstars, which were a massive firm. Imtech G&H, who Sam's actually sued.
No, I haven't sued them. We had in the day there was a legal battle with the union that I used to run and Imtech.
And the funniest bit was I was working there at that time and I was getting the back end of all these stories about these bunch of dicks. That was you. So yeah, I went to work for Goodmate and Erstars. I was basically industrial sparky, doing like data centers, just industrial shit. Then I went to work for Blue Circle, which is now Tarmac or Lafarge or whatever they call this week.
Hold on a sec,
controls engineer.
Hold on. Do you class data centers as industrial then?
Fucking hell, yeah. You seen the stuff in them? It's bonkers, isn't it?
It is,
weird. You know what data centers are? Data centers are data centers, aren't they?
They're their own thing, aren't they? They're their own thing.
It is their own thing. And I can also, from the external of a data center, I can tell you what security level it is. Because there's one in Nottingham, I think I mentioned the name, for Experian. If you go on Google Earth, I think it's a class 7. It's got a moat. All the way around it, it's got an actual moat. That's where Experian keep all the data. This might be secret, I don't know, but it's live anyway. But yeah, it's got a moat around it. I think it's there's levels of security for data centers. They put a moat around theirs and they added a level on the end because they've got this moat, a proper moat with the portcullis, the lot.
Wow.
So yeah, so I did all that shit. And then I wasn't a sparker till I left there. I went to work for Blue Circle, which was making cement. And then basically that's when I got into production and process and controls and shit like that. And that was what I did for the next 20 years. And then I come on this podcast. That's it. But yeah, running the company wise, I couldn't do it justice now, but it's getting harder, isn't it? It's getting harder with our IR35 and insurances and RAMs and all that crap.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've never had any interest in running a company. I mean, I've done my domestic stuff and I was going to go whole hog doing domestic stuff. But again, I was just like, do you know what? This is so boring, bruv. Like,
what I will say is, I met my missus about 10 years ago and I've got a big, massive, in my kitchen, there's a central island that goes along. And I'd get up there, my missus started stopping over the house and stuff like that. And she moved in with me, I think. And she's like, I got all my shit out every night, all my paperwork out there, my laptop out, invoice out. And she goes, do you do this every night? I was like, yeah. And I said, yeah, like it was totally normal. And what she's implying is, why you're doing a full day's work, getting in, laying all this shit out and doing paperwork till 11 o'clock at night. And that's when I realised, like, I need to change how I run a business. And that's what I would imagine a lot of sparkers do, don't they? They're getting in, doing the paperwork, ordering the stuff. And it's fun, but I got pretty bored of it lately, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean. To be honest with you, like the happiest I've been at work for a long time is now. I'm running a job. I get left to my own devices. I don't have to hear about nothing else, and I don't have to do that much graft, which is really nice. I'm not trying to do on the tools that much anymore. I like jumping on the tools to show people that I can do it. But outside of that, jumping on the tools
Are you a company? You're a subby, aren't you? Are you a company or do you take it as PAYE? Are you sort of a subby on the books?
I am a sole trader.
Sole trader.
Yeah.
So I'm limited. I'm still a limited company, but I work for someone now. And what I will say is the people I work for are fucking brilliant, like proper people firm. And once I got in with them, because I was bitting and bobbing during COVID. I bet everyone was. I went to work at Printers that was family owned. That was a car crash. I went to work for a power station, which was a really nice power station, loads of nice people, but the head of engineering was an absolute fucking penis. So he sacked me.
See,
and then I was
on
like,
most
I'm
jobs,
bumping around.
On most jobs, you always get one absolute, we can't really say the C word, but a C word, an absolute C word. And I always end up falling out with them. And on this job, I haven't found that person yet, which is quite nice.
The head of engineering where I was at, he was a fucking douchebag, and he couldn't engineer a fucking log, right? And this is a very in-deep joke, right? But anyone who does PLC engineering will get this, right? Do you know what a PLC is? Do you want me to explain that to you?
Yeah.
Programmable logic controllers, yeah. Alan Bradley invented them.
That's not sparking.
the little in joke is that PLC 1 was the first one. Then PLC 2 was the second one. PLC 3 was for the American military and never got out into the world, right? It was only ever there. Then you had PLC 4 and PLC 5. Now they're called all different names. And the joke is you say to someone, have you ever worked on PLC 3? Because they didn't exist. And he was like, yeah, I've done loads of work on them. And then they're bullshitting you. So I pulled that.
That's not really sparking, though, is it?
I pulled that stunt on my engineering manager, and about 3 or 4 days later, I got sacked. Don't know why. But,
is it sparking, though?
What, PLC engine? Yeah, of course it is.
Is
Spark, it? Right. I was on about this the other day to someone. Sparking is your base level. It's like your bread for your sandwich, yeah? Once you've done your I think everyone should do a proper 4-year apprenticeship in like as varied work as they can. Then choose your niche and go for it, because that's where the money is. So that's sparking. Fitting like telephones is sparking, isn't it?
No.
Of course it is.
Would you say a sky engineer is sparking?
Right. I'll rephrase that. It is. We're all in the same trade. Is that? Do you get?
No.
Of course we are.
No.
We're dealing with cables.
Well, just because they deal with cables. No, stop
well,
it.
No. I'm not saying a sky engineer is a sparky. What I'm saying is, if you train as a sparker, you could go and do a sky engineer's job dead easily because you've got the base level skill. Not the other way, it doesn't work the other way around. A sky engineer, yeah, but if you train as a sparker, you can then go, you know what? I'm just going to go around fitting Sky TV. I'm going to go around fitting Wi-Fi for people. I'm going to go and do weighers. You know the big weighers that you drive lorries on? You might go and do that. And I think everyone should develop into that niche as they go through the career.
I think you're absolutely right about a niche. And like when I say niche, it doesn't have to be just like some specific side of sparking. Like whether you go into management, whether you go up that way, that's a niche in itself.
Mark said, actually, you remember Mark, massive forehead, does the apprenticeship. He's just come in the chat lot. Yeah, I was actually meant to do a podcast for the other week, and it's going to be about. I'm not this way. I'm just going to big it up. I'm sick of seeing people not flowing through the trade. I'm sick of seeing people not. I think the short course mentality made people want to be sparkies, and then they be sparkies, but they haven't got the skill to progress from that. And we need a constant flow of people that can engineer and design and develop, and we've lost it. There's no flow.
Yeah, I know, because I wonder what the opportunities are. A lot of electrical companies, and I've noticed this in like it's been 20 years now almost. I've been sparking, and like as a commercial industrial spark predominantly, a lot of the companies that you deal with are chancers. You very rarely get like a proper wholesome company with drive and focus to the next level. So they're not trying to bring you up for any other reason than they want to take some responsibility off someone else to put it with you. It's not like these companies have like 10, 20-year plans. A lot of the directors just want to be able to take a step back, get their money, and let the company run itself like a cash machine, which is fine. But you're never going to build a proper company. And I think the electrical industry is riddled with that. I think the electrical industry's reliance on self-employed
slave labor
on their reliance and this addiction to subby labor is actually probably one of the worst things that could have ever happened to this industry.
If you're subby, where's your time coming from? I was speaking to him about this the other day, and like my company, I don't want to keep bumming my company, right? But they're brilliant. We have the guy, our HR guy is called Head of People, and when I joined, I thought, oh, they've given it some cool name. It turns out they're really big into people. They're big into talent. And that's why I enjoy working for them, because they want to bring people up. But in the future, if you subby, you're not training your next site engineer. You're not training your next designer. You're not training your next office person. You're just relying on subbies. And then I can sit here of an evening and earn 200 quid doing some CAD for someone because they can't get anyone to do it, which is great news for me. But it's not good when firms are getting me to do CAD. Like just some random bloke who's got a job. Oh, can you do some drawings for me? Oh, it's all right for a small firm. Like I do a lot for my mate because he's small. He can't afford to have a CAD guy of his own. But I have bigger firms coming to go, can you do these drawings? But got anyone that can do it? But no one seems to know. No short course sparkers and the rush through people nowadays don't seem to be aware that if you want to learn how to do AutoCAD, you've got to put it on your computer and you've got to sit here on the internet until you can do it. And then when you can do it, you can earn some decent coin. But I don't see anyone telling anyone that at all.
I think there is a like this. Certainly in my sector of the trade, there's like this thing. Like if you're on the you're only a real proper spark if you're on the tools. The second you move off the tools or you move into something else, you ain't a proper spark no more.
How old were you when you stop thinking that bollocks? Everyone thinks like that when they're young, weren't there? Yeah, you're fucking on proper spark. Everyone in the office is a wanker and all that. You have that mentality, don't you? But if people want to stop on the tools, like you're still on the tools, but you've moved into management now. If people want to bash metal and be on the tools all their life, great. But you should be. You're temporarily bollocks. You'll stay in it now because you're good at it. But if people want to bash metal and be a sparky, I ain't got a problem with that. I don't hate you. But what I'm saying is 50% of the people in the trade need to have progression for the companies to exist.
Yeah. And I think there's also not much in terms of if you are like, I only really speak about subby contracting and stuff like that. And there is a glass ceiling to it. Unless you can sort of get your point over across and you've got a bit of confidence and you step out of that bubble, you really are only ever going to earn £200 to £250 a day subbing as an average.
In a approved electrician's work, standard sparky work,
And it's only ever going to be that, really. Well, fucking hell, hold on one sec. Right, first of all, we've got Tony Clark here saying, "Hi Sam, wife said, how's the poo juice?" Well, it's funny you should say that. I know people are going to be like, "Oh no, not poo stories," but I've had some poo.
Why am I so out of focus? What is my camera doing?
Why you got to interrupt my my poo-tastrophes?
Carry on. I'll try to get this camera in focus.
I have poo juice on the sofa again. The other day I was at work. I had a Vindaloo the night before, and I had to. I had a big problem. Anyway, I won't get into it too much. But
can I tell my poo story?
No.
Oh, go on. You do it all the time.
Yeah, but I had to stop because people got the ump.
The other week, I got to tell this. I got to tell this because I feel like a problem shared makes a problem half, doesn't it? So this happens in the future. Yeah, as you get older, is your body like not doing things that you used to do anymore, like creaking and shit like that?
In the mornings, I have to sort of walk down the stairs like some sort of creature rather than walk down the stairs.
The other Sunday, mate, I was so constipated, I thought I was going to explode. And it's only because my missus had a baby that she had some lactose in the ass, and I had to take some and sit there, doubled over in pain until it came out. And when it came out, it was like an iron rod. So that does happen to you. Don't panic. That's my
never have that problem. Mine's always the other way around.
Yeah, the other way around. You don't realise how lucky you've got it till you've been constipated.
So, Mark's put, what do you guys think about putting battery storage system in your hallway in a terraced house?
I think this is related to a comment I made, and there's a picture of this on Twitter. Hear this. I will not put batteries in anywhere enclosed on my properties.
What's the failure rate of these batteries? So you don't even know when you're chatting shit.
But the problem is I've seen them go up.
No,
have you seen what happens when a battery goes up?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So like, it's a no-brainer. If it's in your house, it fills with smoke. You can't get out. You're dead. It's like, all right, the failure rate's low, but I don't want them thermal throttling in my house.
What is a failure rate? That's what I'm saying. So say on these batteries, right? The battery storage system that you've got in your house is 0. You need to shut up.
Doesn't exist, does it? Look, mate,
you don't know, do you?
They're being pumped out of China. The batteries are inherently unstable anyway. All right, the failure rate might be 0.01%, but I don't want, when they go, I've seen batteries go, I work with batteries to do battery storage systems, like big ones, huge containerized ones. When they go, they go. And do you know what puts them out? Do you know what puts them out?
It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter.
Nothing.
No, there's nothing can put them out.
They just burn. So your house will be full of smoke.
When New York flooded, do you remember the East Coast flooded New York, didn't it?
Yeah.
There was a car company called Fisker, and they were like one of the first electric car companies. Like it was them and Tesla, and Fisker had a load of their cars start going underwater, and as they started going underwater, they was reacting with the batteries, and they all went up. Like every single car just started going up, and there's nothing they could do once they go, is there?
No, it's like in the hallway though. The problem is a battery won't really run away unless it gets damaged, but there's more chance of getting damaged in the hallway. Also, if you have a normal house fire, which do happen, that will set. So like, it's not necessarily the battery exploding; it's your kids driving a bike into it, or banging it or I don't know, dropping a cup
but
of
it's
tea on it or
imposing.
something.
I feel like it's. I feel like they would say on it, "Do not store in your house."
I don't think they care. I think that they leave that to you. But the problem is, there's no data. So it's like when cigarettes first come out, innit? No one thought there was anything bad about them. You only get the data afterwards. Like cars used to have bits that damage you when they crashed. So it's same with electric cars, isn't it? If you crash an electric car, you better get out of that because that's going up.
True.
But there's no data at the minute. It's not been enough electric car crashes because they are a small percentage of the market. But it'll be interesting to see how that.
But my thinking is, there's no data on it. No, there's no regs on it. There's no nothing on it, is there?
Just buy an IP65 one, put it outside in a little shed. That's what I've done. And I can sleep soundly about at night, knowing that it's. I don't want to sit there. I like going to sleep at night. I enjoy it. And as I said on this podcast before, I don't want to sit there thinking if Mr. Battery's going to go up downstairs. Like, because if it does, it does. But because it's outside, I don't have to worry about it.
What is the chances of your house catch? I reckon there's more chance of your house catching fire than your batteries going up. I reckon there's probably more chance of your house getting set on fire than your battery going up. I reckon there's more chance of a meteorite hitting your house and causing a fire than the battery going up.
No, I think it'll be a bit more popular than that. It's like house fires, isn't it? I mean, can you think of anything worse? We look at this place. Look, if it wouldn't take much in here, would it? I've got old cables under here. And is it Mickey Flanagan? Like, no one worries about the fridge, do they? You leave that on all the time, don't you? No one worries about that setting of fire. But they are bad for it. But I can't think of anything worse than a house fire, so I do everything I can to avoid it. But not buy FDDs because they're shit.
Yeah, so this is the thing. This is the thing I wanted to talk about. Like AFDDs just tripping for no reason.
I'm keeping an eye on the comments. We're going to work through them. Yeah, because they're coming in.
Tell me off mid-sentence again.
I just want to tell the viewers that we love them and we're going to refer to them. But yeah, AFDDs. You know what I hate about them? Suddenly, you know RCDs. You know this A-type.
Yeah.
There's certain people within the industry, which I won't name. Suddenly, after 20 years of RCDs being a life-saving device, suddenly now a different one's come out, whatever type is it AC type something? All right. No, the AC ones were the old ones. Now there's A type. Suddenly, they're going to kill you. They're not going to work. You need to rip them all out immediately. Like, and it's quite.
That is some bullshit. Yeah.
There's some proper scaremongering about it because they can get blocked by DC. Not everyone's got PV, but there are certain people out there. I don't know if it's being paid or what. Going, you know, the mold RCDs that protect you from everything. They don't protect you. Stop scaring people. Get AFDDs or you're going to die. And I've seen on Twitter people having problems with them. Tripping off and stuff.
Tripping off for no reason. I don't really know enough about the science about shit like that. But to be, in all fairness, what is this now?
It relates to what we just said. We've just done about. You just said to me how many batteries have gone up, and I didn't know the data because there isn't any. Same with FDDs. Are they actually safer? That thing come out the day, didn't it? Since Part P was brought in, there's more house fires down to electrical faults. I saw Joe Robinson doing his news thing. You're like, well, Part P's in terms of bringing down electrical deaths and electrical fires, Part P's been a complete fucking waste of time, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, because it doesn't really. There's the problem with Part P is it doesn't really
do fuck all.
No, it just allows other people who aren't as skilled as you to do shit that doesn't really get checked.
I'm going to go to the comments because we've done Part P to death in here. It's a total fucking joke that made the industry worse. So I'll refer to the comments. Tim, what happened to my teaching career? I got offered loads more money. I was good at it. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Shit.
You know what it is? You know what it is genuinely? The college I worked for were okay. It was a private college, but there was a lot of fucking shyster training places going off. Like there are some really bad training places. I don't recommend anywhere in Nottingham to anyone. There's nowhere I'd recommend. And I do enjoy teaching. I did enjoy it. I want to go back into it again, but unfortunately, I'm not past it yet, and there's more money to be made on the tools.
I will never do teaching. I don't care enough, and I don't like people enough to do teaching. Here's quite a good question. Do you think you need to worry about a court case and imprisonment from using SY cable? That comes from Mark. Might as well be a stupid question for me. No one's going to prison over SY cable. Shut up.
SY cable, CY cable, YY cable, all of their place in use in installations.
But they don't have a BS number, do they? That's why hospitals and stuff won't let you use them.
We're harmonised with Europe. I would say that if they're not using CY, SY, and YY cables for some stuff in hospital, they're wrong because all right, they might not be approved for carrying mains voltage, but we all know they can. But controls cables, you've got to send signals, you're going to use that. Any cable, even like something like H2R7N butyl, which is an absolutely rock solid cable, has got places where it shouldn't be used. And that's down to design and experience for people to make that decision, isn't it? Thank you, I am E5. No.
Yeah, that's funny. No one's going to prison. Like, why would you say that?
They ought to give it a name. You know, picking the right stuff. They could call it selection and erection or something like that. Could do that, couldn't we? But
Every
it's
time you
surprising.
say erection makes me laugh. It's
surprising how many sparkies, and I'm not just picking on short course sparkies here, but I am picking on them in particular, don't understand that wiring of lights, which is easy, yeah, but the bit that electricians get paid for is because they can select and erect. That's part of our skill set. You don't learn in a 5-day course.
It's funny how important experience is. You get so many people who were good apprentices. They come through their time. They've done well. They're good on the tools. They're good at what they do. They've got a bit of experience, and then they go out on their own. And then before you know it, they're making terrible mistakes because they haven't done it for long enough to be able to be able to like pull it off.
I mean, to look at a bit of. Oh, sorry, mate.
There's a company like who was subbing for the company I work for. Good guys.
51 people are watching this.
I know. Who? Listen, Sunday nights must be boring.
Sunday night boring. Sorry,
like,
mate.
These geezers that are working in subbing part of the building that I'm working on, they didn't get no drawings for ages. So they decided on a commercial job to start doing the install using the on-site guide.
Okay.
Right? Do you know how dumb that is?
That is, I can't even process how dumb that is. It's just, I just said okay.
What is a golden rule on a commercial or an industrial site when you're doing a new installation? The drawing is God.
Yeah, and make sure you got the right drawing. But I can see the problem. The problem is like to look at a bit of SY. If you're an inexperienced person, to look at a bit of SY cable, you're like, this is really good. Look, it's got a sheath on it. It's armored, which it's not. But then you put it outside and it lasts about 2 years. So selection and erection is the skill, is the talked about skill of the electrician, I dare to say. That's an experience skill that not a lot of people can possess when they've just learned to bang asses out on a 5-day course, you fucking pricks.
Yeah, but I don't blame them. I do blame them.
I blame the industry. But
I'll tell you why I do blame them, because they didn't do their due diligence. When I retrained as an electrician, all I could think about was the gold card. When someone on site pulled out their gold card and was like, "You'll never get one of these," I was like, I want one of them more than life itself. I want one of them so badly now. I'm going to do everything I could. So when I signed up to the college course to get one of them, mate, I asked the geezer maybe 400 times, for this course, get me that card. Well, this course, get me that card. And I wanted to know. And I didn't stop digging. I went away and I asked people. I didn't stop digging until I knew 100% the course I was doing was going to get me that card. That's all I wanted.
I spotted the week I spotted a reaction that shows people decent. It was on our podcast last week. When we had Lizzie on saying how she likes to make everything look neat and tidy because it's an art, and we both go, oh, that's nice. That's a nice thing to say, which is quite our character for us to go. That's a nice thing to say, but I think that's our caring, good, honest electricians feel that everything should be done properly, even if it is in a junction box. But then you get the slap and dash crew, don't you, that just bang stuff in. Don't give a fuck if it lights, it gets paid.
See, I'm starting to. There's types of effort that you put into types of jobs. If you go to somewhere where they're not going to appreciate a high end bit of work, then you don't do a high end bit of work. You don't always do high end bit of work. Or you make yourself not unemployable, but you are wasting their time and your time. So you have to find a balance. If you only ever turned up and done the very best Rolls Royce job for these companies, they would just move you on. They'd be like, you're taking too long to do that. You're wasting too much bits on that.
There are levels of quality, aren't there? That's fair. Like if you're doing, there are levels of quality. Like some jobs do get banged into the minimum standard. Some jobs are way above, and that could just be something like whether the cable's embedded in the wall or if it's in conduit. But I see people like, oh, conduit jobs are better because you can rewire them. Anyone, yeah? Message me, ring me at home on a Sunday night and tell me if you've ever actually rewired a conduit job that's 20 years old. Because no one has that there. Because The
Because
problem
shit
is,
changes.
it's totally rewirable. Great.
Oh, do you know what?
20 years old. Oh,
No, I have. I'll tell you why. When I first started out doing rewires in Hounslow, there was sometimes you'd get flats. So you'd have to do 2 flats a day, or 1 3-bedroom house a day. So we'd always go for the flats because a lot of the time they were done in conduit.
Yes, because they would have been original
out,
singles, yeah.
And then if they wanted extra sockets, you just do a bit of chunking to another point.
Yeah. I suppose if you did, this is really boring, but I find it dead interesting. Last week at Centre Parks, if anyone's been to Centre Parks, there's loads of chalets the same. And I was just sat there thinking, this is quite interesting because you've got a large amount of stock to maintain at the same level. And if you design that right in the first place, you're going to make them really cheap to maintain because you can just go and fix stuff and things like that.
You need to just go on fucking holiday.
Yeah, but it's just interesting. It's just like if you design something right, when you design it, another experience for electricians, yeah. When you design something, you should design it to be maintainable for the life of it, which will save less money. If you go
shut up,
you cost more money. Is this too highbrow for you fucking pleb? when you cheapen up a job,
you should design it for 30 years time, and in case there's an asteroid or an earthquake or a tsunami. Shut up, man.
I am so
just
sparky.
Fucking put it in and sign it off and piss off.
I'm Sparky Whinger tonight. Yes, you should always design it for the longevity of the installation. I do believe that though. It's like people nowadays, everything's cheap. But then when it comes to maintaining it.
Listen, if someone says, right, here's a budget, no limit.
You are such a subby, Sam, honestly.
No. Here's the budget. There's no limit. I want you to design the very best installation possible. All right, sweet. Then I'm going to have that mindset. Someone goes, if you go, right, listen, this is the very best possible, and it's £1,000, blah, blah, and they go, well, my mate Bill, he can do it for 300 quid. You go, you ain't getting the best possible job, are you prick?
What is the best possible job?
You can't have that mindset.
Right, I'm going to the comments because we're on live. We keep forgetting that. Gary said everyone should try and spend some time in their local college as part of training electrical career. I totally agree with that, Gary. But there is no mechanism for that.
Why?
Because it's just nice. Because we are all on a journey where we have learnt of people and we have got to pass the trade on. We're an artisan trade. We learn off olders and pass them to youngers. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's commented again down the bottom or if you will, but most local colleges don't give a shit, and there is no mechanism to enable someone like me to go to my local college and go, I'll come in and tell you, I'll talk to the lads. Also, they probably don't want real sparkies in, because I would say I'm a real sparker and I've got a potty mouth. I can turn it off, but I think the college would get nervous about that. So yeah, I'm totally right. But how does that work? No one really wants a load of bum scratching tradesmen there swearing at the kids, do they? But if you get me in, that's what's going to happen. So
yeah, it's not just that as well. It's like, say it's not college, say it's someone that sold a quick course, and you come on and go, you're not an electrician unless you've got this, and this.
And you're
like, shut up.
Yeah. I think it only work for colleges and that. And the sooner the private training companies do less of the apprentice training, I think we'll be better off.
I want to give a big shout out actually to
you do this while I look at the comments.
No, Electrical Academy in Maidstone. They do wicked courses. They're a great little firm, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes to them. And we're going to be doing a live, not a live, but we're going to be doing an episode.
We could do a live.
When Jamie finally gives me a date and I can arrange it, we're going to be doing a podcast from the Electrical Academy in Maidstone.
We are, and I'm developing. I've got a gear here that I can use for that. Are you
ever going to give me a date, by the way?
Let's do this on air. This will be fun. So we have got to go to Verso at some point, and we've got to go to this Mason.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to meet up and do some podcasts in person, but I'm just tweaking the setup I have so I can take it on the road.
That sounds like waffle.
I don't know if you was incorporating this thing, but Verso, we're going to do a little thing for the Christmas episode, which I think is going to be amazing.
I saw something about
it. Don't say it out loud, but I think it's going to be. In fact, the Christmas episode, like I said, I'm going to say this again for any new people watching now. If you want to do a comedy sketch for the Christmas episode, please have a bash.
No, don't. Just
shut up, you melon.
Open invite. Listen,
it's
open inviting people.
Shut up. You're not wanting to try. You're such an old man. I don't want to try anything new. I don't want to go live.
Oh, look, nominate them for eFix Training Provider of the Year, Sam. Where do I do that?
Where's it? eFix. Where's your category for podcast of the year? Yeah, there's nothing that I can. There's nothing.
We wouldn't get it.
Well, no, because they can't give it to themselves, can they? There's nothing on that awards that I can put myself in for. Where's Sparky? Where's Swearing Sparky of the Year? Where's Podcast of the Year? Where's Worst Person in the Trade? Where are they? Where are the awards that I can get?
We wouldn't get. Oh, here we are. Lecturer of the Year, College of the Year, Training Provider of the Year. Bosch. How'd you do that then?
What else can we win? It's almost like we're plugging eFix so hard on this podcast. They should plug us on there, shouldn't they? You know what I'm saying, eFix?
I think it's kind
Scratch
of
my
like,
back, eFix, yeah.
I don't think it's kind of a fair comparison, if I'm honest, mate.
So I think eFix is basically going to say they're going to plug us in their podcast. That's nice for them to plug us on live. So if you watch eFix live next week, which I would recommend, it's a very good show. I'm sure they will be plugging this show and giving us a big thumbs up.
Definitely
Cheers,
not.
eFix.
Stop it. You and Gaz.
Well, it's okay. Okay, that's legally binding, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Stuart, poo story of the year. Well, I'd win that. My poo stories are in depth, but everyone started moaning every time I started telling poo stories. So I've had to stop.
Do you watch eFix, Sam? Do you watch the lives? Have you seen the socket challenge?
Wait, is it a socket? What is it?
Where you wire a socket, so they have a bit of conduit in the board, and you put some singles at the pipe, and you basically wire around. You've done it.
I've done it.
What there?
I've done it at GSH many years ago.
Oh, so he's brought that in, right?
And I've done it terribly. It took me about 10 minutes.
What I'm going to say is, yeah, if I did that with you, I could beat you blindfold. Just 100%. So you know.
Listen, all right, I've given it all the hardcore on that. And what happened was, right, and it sounds like an excuse, but I pulled my hand the day before doing armoured. And then when we went there, it was freezing cold, and I kept dropping the screwdriver. I couldn't even hold it. Yeah, it's one of them. It was bad.
I'd batter you. In fact, to be honest, some people there, I think could beat a blindfold anyway. But yeah, 10 minutes plus.
Right. Listen,
I am beanbagface. Yes.
First of all,
Scott,
you wouldn't beat me.
I would. I reckon I could beat you blindfolded.
I bet you couldn't.
We'll set it up at the Maidstone Training Academy. We'll do it there.
We can't do e-fixing unless they're there, you idiot.
We'll do his own. But I think I could beat you. I think I'm a better sparky, to be honest. I'm sure that'll be.
Mate, it's not difficult. I've never said I'm a good sparky. I'm a basic bitch sparky. I can do a bit of containment, a little bit of wiring, and a fairly decent fuse board. You
could go for poo store of the year, someone's saying here. I'm up to date with the comments, by the way, people. So if you want to put some more in, feel free.
I don't listen. Oh, big shout out to Ricky Howe.
Oh, yeah.
The creator of the podcast and long-time friend of mine. Done really well at On the Tools, Electrician of the Year and Tradesperson of the Year. Don't know how you even get nominated, because I ain't been nominated fucking anything. How is that a thing? How have I never been invited on any of the programs? Like, I've never... Nothing.
Ricky got me. When I started doing training, right? I went into social media Sparky wise 2 years ago. When I started training, I didn't feel as comfortable as I would have liked, because I felt I was lacking a bit of knowledge. So I started getting into like YouTubers on electrical stuff, things like that. I found like Sparky Ninja. Then I found this podcast because I was like, I could do it on the bus. And Ricky's the guy that got me onto David Savery, because he was on here. He was on this show saying about some video he'd done. So I was like, oh, I'll make a note of that and watch that. And then when I watched that, I was like, I'm a gobshite. I'm not very good at my job and I like swearing. And I watched David Savery and thought, oh, I could have got this as well, because he's doing all right out of it. So, yeah. So cheers for that, Ricky, and congratulations on you two awards. David, that's a bit greedy. Yeah, some of us ain't got any, but you've got 2, but never mind.
I've never been nominated, never got nothing. Fuck you all.
Jamie
vs Bundy. Well, that would be a good showdown. I reckon Bundy would smash him to bits, but Bundy is listen, there's 2 sides of the coin. And
what do you know what conduit was if it weren't flexible?
No, what I'm saying is he has aligned well. He's a uni-like guy, so that will never happen, unfortunately.
Use code blatant 10.
Hasn't Ricky won Electrician of the Year now 2 years? No, he won it.
He won another brand, didn't he? Is that
Yeah.
right? Another one of these awards. Some of these awards, I'm not taking anything from them. Some of the awards, though, I've heard people getting offered it and then they can't go to the show. They don't get it, do they? Have you heard of that?
I don't know. Do you know what? I don't get involved in anything like that. Because I wouldn't. A lot of these things I wouldn't even accept anyway. I wouldn't even accept them.
Some of them are nice. If it's a proper, I'd obviously accept eFixer's Sweary Spark of the Year award gladly. I'd accept the Electricians podcast Twat of the Century. We ought to do an anti-awards. That'd be good. Worst wholesaler, worst sparker, worst tutor. We could do the anti-awards. That's right up our street.
See, I think like we come up with an idea that not so long ago, didn't we?
You would, for anyone listening,
Spark of the Year.
For anyone listening, you'd be surprised the amount of crazy ideas that get run through our WhatsApp group with this.
If we had more time, we could do a lot of the stuff we think about, but we don't. I just don't have time. I don't have time. I'm tired.
We are running out. We are running stuff out. It's like to put together a show over Christmas. That'll involve getting loads of bits and pieces off people and editing together. And anyone that does editing or has done editing, if anyone doesn't know about editing, it takes ages. And if you rely on other people on for video, it's a lot of effort. But I don't mind doing it because at the end of the day, if people don't listen to this, there's no point in doing it. And we're trying to up our interaction with you, the viewer. That's you, Scott
there you
Thompson,
go, Marlon W.
Tony Clark. What?
Electrician Academy in Maidstone. I did my 2391 and Nappet assessment there. Great place. It is. They're a Nappet centre as well.
Nappet. Is that good or bad? I think
do you know? Listen, all them things are the same, mate. They're all the same. It's like Nick has done eFix Electricians Challenge. Yeah, I know. We nominate Sam for the best poo juice story. Nope. I won't accept it.
It's our chat pros. It's good. This is what we do want to know. Is what we'd like to know in the comments. Yeah, how long have we been going now, Sam? What's the time?
51 minutes.
So we go 51 minutes. I think it's got a good flow on it. We need to know what you think, though. Is this fun? Is it interactive? Would you like to see us do a monthly one? Would you like to just come in here and call me beanbagface every comment like Scott Thompson's doing? Yeah.
Yeah, but you are beanbagface now. Like
that is it now. That is so. But what I'm all about on this is, and I keep saying this over and over again. I'll never stop saying it. Yeah, the interaction is the most fun bit for us because we're at the end of the day we're giving up our time and stuff to do it, and I get my kicks out of the interaction. That's the bit that's fun for me.
Do you know what? It is much better now. People are more comfortable commenting. Like I'm really enjoying that. I look forward to seeing the comments and stuff, and I like it. And I like the fact that it gives us direction of where we're going. Have we done well in what we're doing? Like, was that podcast any good? Is it like and stuff like that? I think it's really important.
And as people know, literally, if you go in that comments now and if you go in there and put genuinely why you think something's shit or what part of it's shit, I will ring you up on a Sunday night and I'll fucking threaten you already. I will take that on board. I'll cup your balls, you beanbag face mother. No, if you put in there, what you put in there, we read and we act upon that. Someone said on their last live, the lives are really good fun. And I'm like, right, so like tonight, I was like, let's do it live for a crack.
No, and then you said let's do it live because you knew we wasn't going to get one out. Sunday lunch. Well, that's called Sunday dinner now, Gary. But have a good one and much love to you and yours.
Sunday lunch? Where are we? Sunday lunch? It's 5:30, you animal. Way too late for lunch.
I know. I'm going to be going and dipping some roast potatoes in the gravy in a minute.
If I had Sunday lunch now, I'd be asleep.
Mate, I would be so dead.
This is a good one from Tim here. Tim says, electricians should have a recognised card from the government to prove they're qualified electricians. Mate, the government couldn't organise piss in a brewery. Even the paid firms like NIC and NAPIC can't manage to do it without letting a load of shysters in. So it's all right saying the government's the solution, but the real solution, I think, is the trade itself. There you go. I actually comment that was the professional. That was like it was on Sky or something.
I don't even know what that means. That sounds like some fucking bullshit.
You can't just have some government agency go, right, we're only going to... Every system will get misused and abused. And I'm afraid...
There's no silver bullet to this. There's no silver bullet to it.
There's no silver to anything, is there?
A good start for this would be recognising what an electrician is and then a training standard to achieve that recognition.
You know, it'd be a good start to it. Knowing who the fuck's in charge, because no one knows, do they? Who's in charge?
No one is. No one is in charge. No one's in charge of the industry. It's all some fucking nonsense.
No one knows. Is it the NIC? Oh no, they're owned by Searchshore. Is it Searchshore? No, they're owned by the ECA. Is it the ECA? No, we're just a trade organisation. Is it NAPIT? No. I think, well, someone just tell me who's in charge. No one's in charge. It's like it's a self-perpetuating
No one's in
thing.
charge.
But it's no one's in charge. But random companies can set themselves up and say, "Oh, you've got to give us money, and we'll say you're good." What the fuck? that's a protection. It's a fucking protection racket. The NIC and NAPIT are just a mafia. Like, oh, they're nice windows. Do you like your windows? Like, give us some fucking money. Like, it's a protection racket, and I can't believe we let them get away with it. To be honest,
that's hilarious.
Especially when it comes to. I will say this on the record, yeah. They do go out and vet people, apparently. And I've heard that the NIC ones are getting particularly harder. However, you can't complain about people. That's the problem. If I see a shit job and I go, I'll report you to the NIC who's done it, they won't let a trade report another trade, which is a sham.
Here's the thing. If I pay my money to the NIC and they want to come out with a stink face and go through all my shit and then be like, oh, this is wrong and this is wrong. Oh, do you know what this reg means? I'll be like, get the fuck out. I've paid my money. Take it or leave it, you little bitch.
What's massively unfair is they'll do that to a firm with 70 sparks with an admin team behind them, and they'll get the same inspection as a two-man band. Like they'll expect to have the same books, the same technical knowledge, and the same amount of money's worth of shit. So to go and buy the regs, the on-site guide, whatever they need, it costs them a much smaller percentage of their turnover. There's a little firm. So it's just a bit unfair like that. And I think they are just a protection firm for big rackets, to be honest. Big firms.
What the fuck is that?
What's what?
Oh, it's a motorbike. Listen, watch Mel Gibson Payback. Thanks for the tip, Sam. You're welcome. Listen,
proper electrical content.
Yeah. You're both unscripted and beneficial to the youngsters in the industry.
How far off script are we? Let's have a look. Because we have got a script.
We haven't
done any of that. We haven't done any of that. We're not going to do it now.
Now, to be honest with you, we just chat. How many times a week do we chat shit about this and then get on here and forget what we was going to talk about?
What's happened is, and I will definitely say this, is I keep an arm and chat. You can see me keep flicking down here. And it has helped to move it along. And I don't want to make a big thing out of doing a live, but it's nice to just come on. We'll have a little subject to get us going, and then we'll flick down there and see what people are saying.
Yeah, because I've got to be honest, guys. I am starting to flag now. Like, I've got work again tomorrow. Like,
Sam's now been at work for 432 days.
Listen, I'm that guy that walks onto a job and they go, "Oh, you up for Saturdays?" I'm usually like, "No, mate, don't work weekends."
Is it still time and a half and double time?
Well, no, it's just flat rate till 1.
Why did they put you off at 1?
On here.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Commercially sensitive. Yeah. Remember the good old days. The problem is, though, if you're on a JIB firm, you're going to get time and a half in the morning on Saturday, aren't you? Double time after.
No, 37 and a half hours a week, you get normal rate. After that, you get time and a half for the next 8 hours, and then after that, it's double time.
But the rate's a lot lower, in it? Than what
it is, but
is it £5 less an hour on JIB? No,
it all depends. It all depends because it depends on the market, doesn't it? Because it is. I know I used to hate this when people go supply and demand. It's like, shut up, dickheads. But it is supply and demand, unfortunately. And at the moment, the demand is higher than the supply. So there's a lot of jobs out there.
I've heard of JIB firms paying over the JIB rate. You know what?
You got to remember the JIB rate is just a minimum. It does. That's not what. That's not what you have to get if you're JIB. That's your minimum.
Although I'll come in and stop people off here, I will say this: I've got a lot of time for the JIB rulebook and the JIB. To be honest, I think it gives you something to work from.
There's some inherent problems with the JIB handbook, and it's mostly down to the fact that when the JIB was founded, and the whole thing where you have Unite on one side and the ECA on the other side, and then they would come to terms, and the handbook would show them terms in clear.
That's what it is. It's like black and white bosch. That's what's happening, which I always like.
Problem is, when it all started, the Unite was way stronger than it is now. That's why they had collective bargaining agreement. Good night, Efix. Thank you for joining. They had collective bargaining agreement. Now, their numbers have fucking dwindled for electricians.
Who's even in the? That'd be an interesting one. Who is even in the union now? Who would even bother with that cack? It's just outdated shit to me.
Because here's an overriding principle: there's nothing a union can do for you that you can't do for yourself.
Not nowadays. No win, no fee, and all that. I think they do get a bit more.
No, not even that. What I'm saying is, if you want to improve your working conditions, you want to improve your day, you want to improve your lot, yeah, that's entirely up to you.
I totally agree with it, and I thought that for 25 years. I'm like, if I think I'm worth more money, I'll go and then ask for it. If they don't give me, I'll leave. That's my policy.
Go and get more money somewhere else.
Yeah. I think you're totally.
If I want to work 8 till 4, and the job is 7 till 6, then I just don't do that job. Like, what the fuck?
I'm not sure unions ever got anyone anywhere. It's just people getting together. The union's just there, but obviously they got rid of loads of stuff, safer work environments and that. But we're not allowed anymore, are we? I think it's just an individual thing, like you're saying there.
Yeah, but listen, we're coming to an end now. I feel like people are bored of us.
You're tired, aren't you? That's what it is, really.
That as well. And we're talking shit now. Right, listen. Monday Club, we're out.
That means we're out.
Yes, it does.
If you can turn it